Bobby Bowden, we couldn't be happier to get to spend some time with you today. First of all, somebody was lying to me. They told me that you were 91 years old. And then I saw you come prancing out here, sitting down in the chair, and I say, there is no way. Isn't it something to be that guy who makes people look at 90s in a totally different way?
I know, it's amazing. You know, I never, when you were younger, when I was young, 65 was old. 65 was old. And here I am, 91. You know, I've been blessed because I feel good. Now, I don't have the strength that I used to have. I guess that comes with age, but I feel good.
People look at age as a disease, a time of loss, you know, a steady decline, and then you're out the door. You become less relevant. But look at you, Bobby. That's not how you're living your life.
No, I feel good, and like I say, when I was younger, I never thought if somebody said, "Hey, you're going to live to be over your 90," I wouldn't even couldn't picture it, you know. And here I am, 91, and I ain't ready to hang it up.
How are you feeling?
I feel real good. You know, it's amazing. I have no pain, no discomfort. I don't have a lot of energy. I could walk out to the street and walk back and I'd be fatigued. You know, I guess that comes with age because I feel good.
You had a real scare not long ago from COVID. What did that do to you, and did that affect you at all?
You know, it might be the result of why I don't have a lot of energy right now. But when I had COVID, I didn't even know it. The doctor told me I had it, you know. And so while I had it, I felt no discomfort. You know what? After it was gone, I felt no discomfort. Now, again, it could be the thing that slowed me down. However, age might have been the thing that slowed me down too, you know. So, but the good news for me, I feel pretty dang good.
You know how some people are, Bobby. You get to a certain point in your life, and every illness, everything that doesn't feel quite right, you start thinking, "Oh no, this is it."
Yeah.
How do you not do that?
Because I hardly ever feel bad.
Wow.
I've been very fortunate. I bet you I never spent over 3 or 4 days in the hospital, you know, going there for 3 days, mostly for checkup. And so I've been blessed. That's the way Ann and I look at it. Ann's 88 now, you know. We both feel blessed that we're at the age we are, you know. And here's the whole key of getting old. Stay healthy. Now I can see if you're not healthy, you might be ready to hang it up. But when you feel good, 91, 71, so what?
Part of the reason you feel good, you just mentioned, you're blessed to have a great relationship, a long-time relationship. You married your high school sweetheart. How many happy years have you been married?
I met her 73 years ago. I married her 71 years ago. Wow. So we've been married 71 years.
Wow. And how important is that in a life?
It's very important. In fact, it's amazing today compared to 50 years ago. You know, people are not staying married together as much as we did back then. You know, but Ann and I, we mention it sometimes. We've never considered divorce.
You know, Coach, today people change wives, they change spouses like coaches change schools.
It must be fun.
But you know what I mean? You stayed loyal not just to your family, to your wife, but to your program as well. And that's something that we don't see much anymore. Is loyalty an important factor?
Yeah, you know, I coached for 57 years, all of it in college, 6 different jobs. I didn't apply for one of them. They were the answer to prayer. You know, ask God to lead me and guide me, and should I take this job or should I not take this job? You know, and I always figure he got them. God got me them jobs somehow.
But you must have thought in your head, man, maybe I should take that Alabama job because then I'm the #1 guy, undisputed. Or maybe I should go to this school because they're offering me so much more money.
Well, that is true. And a job that I always really liked was Alabama, because I'm from Birmingham. I was raised on Alabama football, and I always wanted that job. And eventually I got offered that job. I also got turned down one time, but after that guy left, I got offered the job. And at least they told me I was their #1 candidate.
So what made you turn it down? What's the lesson in there?
I felt like I was too old. I was 70. And I said, I'm too old to be going to get another job. Then the fact that we started beating them, I felt like I'd better off here.
And the guy who felt he was too old coached another 10. You coached till you were 80.
I know it. It's amazing. When Alabama, one year, 1987, Alabama job came open. I was in Birmingham at a bowl game, so everybody assumed I was going to be the next guy. Well, they didn't offer it to me, but I think that, and so anyway, they didn't offer it to me. So I come back, and we go 14 straight years in the top 5.
Yeah, I want to say that again, because I don't think a lot of people understand the magnitude of this record. You went 14 years in a row, finishing in the top 5.
Yeah.
That's a record that will never be equaled.
Well, it's funny, when that is happening, you don't realize it. You don't even think about it. You don't strive for it. But after it's over, you say, golly, did we do that? But it's funny, when it's happening, you never even think about it.
One of the reasons a lot of people aren't aware of that record? Because your legacy is so tied to what you did for people, even more than what you did for your program. And that is a rarity.
Yeah, I always felt like that I had to be a father to my boys. And that's where they get the discipline. Every home needs a father in it to discipline the children. What this is right and this is wrong. And I had that. I was lucky. And I tried to give that to the boys. I tried to present to the boys like I would my own son. I would preach to them. But I told them, now, boys, you don't have to do what I say in that regard. I'm going to play the best we got, whoever you are, but I want you to hear it.
You were coaching them in football, but you were teaching them how to be leaders, how to be human.
Yeah. And in regard to that, so I coached 50 years ago, 60 years ago, 40 years ago, 30 years. I get letters from boys I coached 50 years ago. They don't mention football. They don't say, Coach, you remember that long run I made, or that great catch I made, or what you said? But they said, Coach, I thank you for what you said. They tell me about their wife and their children, and that makes you feel pretty darn good.
To have a chance in a lifetime to make a difference in the lives of that many people, what a wonderful job.
Yeah, and I can go back and thank my parents, because that's the way they brought me up, And then Ann, I can also thank Ann. She raised our 6 children while I'm out coaching, and I'm so thankful to her for making this thing possible. But the way I was raised, I know when I went into coaching, I felt like I was responsible for these boys doing the right thing. And I used to get accused of, oh, he gave him a second chance. Oh, I kicked him off the football team. No, if I can give him a second chance, I'm gonna do it. But now I had some I couldn't give a second chance. They got into such deep trouble I couldn't help them. I tried to, couldn't help them. But I felt like somebody gave me a second chance, and I want to give them one.
So that brings us now to Coach Bowden's Playbook for Life. Now, you're talking to all of us out here who are in our 40s and 50s and wondering what's ahead for us in life, in our 60s and 70s and maybe stepping into retirement and not sure what to do, or in our 80s and higher wondering if we should just back off and fade away.
Yeah.
What is your recommendation? What can you teach us Coach us about living a good life.
Live one day at a time. Live today the best you can. Quit thinking about 10 years down the road what you're going to do, how you're going to make a living, what kind of health you're going to have. Live today like it's your last day on earth. You know, take your job like this is the last job you'll ever have. Now, you might have another one next week, but take this job and treat it like you'll never have another, you know. And then good things will happen. That's what happened to me.
So how did it work in your relationship? What a huge change from being Bobby Bowden, the guy who's gone every week, every day, all football season long, then recruiting, to being Bobby Bowden, the guy who's home all the time.
That's a good question. Hard to answer if you're talking about me. But again, I took one day at a time and did the best I could. Every now and then I'd get all mixed up on something that's going to happen 5 years down the road. I can't afford to worry about that. You know what? Take care of today, you know, one day at a time. Tomorrow we'll start again.
You coached until you were 80 years old.
Yeah.
How hard? Because most people, when they retire, it's mind-blowing. It doesn't feel right. You know, you get lost for a while.
Yeah.
What was it like for you when you stepped away and you looked around and it was quiet?
I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. I coached till I was 80, and I tried to go another year, but they wouldn't let me, you know. But I coached till I was 80. All right, so then I can remember it might have been 2 or 3 days later. I'm walking down the road, and I'm saying, I ain't got any dadgum problems. I don't have to worry about those guys being in bed tonight. I don't have to worry about them getting in trouble. I don't have to worry about their grades. I don't have to worry about recruiting. You know, all of a sudden, there's a burden lifted off your shoulder that you've carried for 57 years and didn't know it.
So what do you fill that with?
What do you say? Why?
What do you fill it with?
What do you fill it with? Just a relief. A relief. I mean, I could actually feel it. I don't have. Okay, I don't have a job, but I don't have any problem. I don't have any problem. I don't have to worry about 120 kids, you know, and so it's really a big load off your shoulder. You didn't realize you had it, you know.
So then you turn and you start, instead of living in the glory days, you look forward.
Exactly.
And you start thinking, what should I do? What do I want to do?
Exactly. And you take Ann and I'm 91 now, and Ann's 88, and every day we've learned something new about this age, you know. And but again, we both have been blessed with good health. I think that was a key to us, you know. I mean, if my health stayed this good, I'd go to 100.
Bobby, is that an accident, or did you take steps to take care of your health?
Well, we just tried to do what was right. That's all I can say. We tried to do what was right.
Now, you know, something else that happens to all of us as we get older, probably the one thing that all of us have in common, regardless of who we are, is we face some pretty tough, unexpected challenges. You had a prostate issue.
Yep.
That probably rocked you somewhat, but I'm sure there were others as well. What are some of the tough things, Bobby, that you've had to deal with, and what has your coaching, your background taught you about how to get past the tough times?
Well, I think in football, one thing you learn, you don't ever quit. You never give up. You never quit. You fight to the last second, you know, and that's kind of the way I've lived my life. You know, just I enjoy today. Thank you, God, for the health you've given me, and let's keep going.
Do you worry about what's to come?
I try not to worry. I call it concern. It's a good way of getting around it. I'm concerned about it, but I don't worry about it. I've never worried about it, you know, because my faith, you know, shows me eternity, shows me forever.
Are you really happy, or are you just a good actor?
No, I'm happy, and you help it. I tell you that. I am, and like I say, now if I had terrible, let's just say I was just dying with pain, then I'd have a heart. I'd be putting on, you know what? But I feel good.
A lot of people watching this go, man, I miss that guy. I wish we had Bobby back. I wish we had 10. I wish we had 100 Bobby Bowdens in the world. What do you say to those people?
I'd say, I wish y'all was right. But I'm too old. I get that a lot. Oh, I wish he was still coaching. I wish, yeah, no, my days are gone as far as that's concerned. And I enjoyed I never remember going to work and dreading it. I never remember it. All I remember is can't wait to get to work. Can't wait to get to the job. Can't wait to get, something went wrong yesterday. I can't wait to get straightened out. I know the answer. I know how to handle it. This is the way we're going to handle it, you know? And that's the way I try to live.
It's interesting that sports, I think we love sports because sports really are very analogous to life.
Yeah.
What are things that football can teach us about how to live a good life?
Well, I think I always felt like the number one thing it taught my young men was when you get knocked down, get up. We used to yell at them, get up, get up, get up, you know. Don't show anybody you beat, get up, you know. And so one of the great teachings of competitive sports, and especially football because it is a contact sport. It's not like golf, you know. It's a contact sport where you can get injured or you can get beat up, and but they must learn. I must not quit. I must not quit. You know, and you get that to those kids. Now my son Terry has just taken a job at Louisiana Monroe. Terry is 65 years old, and he can't get it out of his system. You know, my other boys when they got 65, they've had all they wanted. But the big thing Terry's got to do, he's got to take that team. Didn't win a game last year, and first thing he's got to do, change their thinking, get them thinking positive. We can win. We're going to win, and this is the way we're going to win. You know, and they got to have confidence in him for that to happen.
So all those years of yelling, get up, don't quit, it's never over. Do you hear that in your head now as you go through life? Coaching yourself to do the same?
There's a carryover. There's a carryover. Any job I take, that's in my mind. Don't you start it, you got to finish it. You know, don't give up. Well, you're gonna get beat. You're gonna lose all your money. You're gonna do all that. Don't give up. You know.
And that's the way you look at life.
Yeah, and that's a carryover from football.
Wow. So it's not just a game.
No, it's not.
And you weren't just coaching for a one-loss record.
There's so many lessons learned, and you know, it's teamwork. Teamwork. You know, y'all are dependent on me. I've got to do my best for y'all. You know, and everybody's thinking that way, and we're thinking as one, and that's the things that are important in life.
And now your huddle has two people in it, you and Ann.
That's right.
Or you and Ann and the kids.
Yeah, that's right.
And the family.
Yeah.
That's your team.
Oh, yeah.
And those are the people that are counting on you to do the best you can.
You know, as Ann and I grow older, we had 6 children. We got 21 grandchildren. We got 10 great-grandchildren, you know. And we think about it, wouldn't you hate to be this age and not have a family? You know, some people are not lucky enough to have children. Well, we got six children. In fact, I got one in there right now, staying with us. She'll stay 5 days. It's my oldest daughter. She's sick. She'll be 70 in another year. You know, now when she goes, another child, they organize it where another child come in, watch after the old man and old woman.
Does it? People say it goes by fast.
It does go. It does. My mother, I never remember. Mother used to say that when I was a kid coming up. Time flies, mother. I don't know where it all went. You know, as she began to get older.
And is that true?
And it is true. Yeah. I can't believe it's about. I can't believe 91 years worth is already gone.
When you sleep and you dream at night, are you 91 or are you 60 running up and down the sideline?
I don't know, but I dream good. I dream all the time. And can't understand why I dream so. I have dream all the dadgum time. And one of the biggest dreams I have is that I'm coaching and I've forgotten what to do, or I'll even dream I'm a player, and I don't know my plays. You know, something bad
Yeah.
happening, but still got those dreams, boy.
Maybe you had no choice but to have a positive disposition, to have a mom. You mentioned your mom. Her name was very unusual.
Yeah, Sunset. Mother's name Sunset. That was a real name too. It wasn't a nickname. Sunset Kleckler. I was named after my granddaddy, Robert Kleckler. They call me Bobby, but Robert Kleckler Bowden. And I'm so thankful for the upbringing.
How important, Bobby, is it when you look back to know that you've made a difference in so many lives? I think what we all hope for is a sense of purpose in our lives. And boy, people think, oh, he became a coach. Sorry, I wish he would have been a lawyer or a doctor or a banker or something important. But a coach, what a great job a coach is.
Yeah. Well, like Billy Graham said years ago, a football coach or a coach has more opportunity of helping young people than maybe a minister, somebody that's in it full time, you know. And that's true, because as a young boy, now when I was a young boy, my daddy was number one. Number two was my coach. I mean, boy, and it got close. If my coach wanted me to do this and daddy didn't, I better watch out, daddy. So boys look up to their coach, you know. Even if the coach is not doing a good job and is not fair, that's what I've tried to do, is be fair, you know. But if a coach is not fair, they still love the coach.
Yeah, a coach has an opportunity to influence young people like nobody else. And it really is a shame if they don't take advantage of that to influence them in the right ways. And that's why we revere you. That's why we want to learn your lessons, because you always did that.
Yeah.
I mean, that wasn't just a byproduct of coaching. That was your main focus.
That's right. That was my main focus. You know what? And as I say, people come up to me and say, "Oh, you have affected so many boys." Oh, well, who? Which one? Which one? Who? Who did I affect? You know, you don't even know. You don't even realize. You know. And then you get that letter. That letter comes through the mail. Dear Coach, just wanted to write and tell you hello. I'm married now. We've got two grown children. One of them's going to come to Florida State. I get that letter a lot, you know, and that makes you feel so dadgum good.
We just signed Gary Cooper to a contract. He's going to play you in the movie that we're doing on your life. Gary Cooper. Clark Gable wasn't available. We're trying to think George Clooney, maybe. We're trying to think of who to give the lead role to. But what should the moral of the story be? What's the moral of what should we all, you know, I always say, you know, when I'm talking to somebody, from the seat you had on the sidelines in life, you actually had a seat on the sidelines.
Yeah.
From what you've experienced and all you've learned, what have you learned is really important about life that you can share with us?
To me, it's do it the right way, and don't try to take shortcuts. You know, a young guy gets out of college and got him a job, and you got to be careful you don't try to take a shortcut, you know, by doing something wrong, which will get him moved up. You know, don't take that shortcut. You know, do what is right.
And when you do that, life can be great.
Yep.
Even at 91?
It has been for me. It has been for me. Ann and I talk about that a lot. There's a tendency to say, boy, we've been lucky. No, we've been blessed.
Here's an unusual question to ask a 91-year-old. What's next?
That's a good question. One thing about it, when you're 91 and you're retired and you own your home and you own your car, you don't owe anybody any money, and you got enough to keep yourself. I've got a retirement plan that'll hold me till I die. You know, then you just keep living. You know what? And you still have opportunity to witness to other people. You know, people you come in contact with, you've got an opportunity to witness to them.
So maybe as opposed to others, your goal in life has never really been about national championships. I mean, it has, but that's not been at the top of the list.
No, mine was still.
It's been paying back for the good fortune that you had to fight back against your disease.
That's right. That's what I tried to do. You know, well, you know, when I had rheumatic fever, we don't hear much about rheumatic fever nowadays. Back when I was coming up, it was a dangerous disease because it is a heart disease. And the doctors had told my mother that I might not be able to make it past 40. I was 13 years of age now. I said, you know, with this heart ailment you got, you might not be able to make it. She told him that, didn't tell me that. She told me that though. And so when I had rheumatic fever, I had to drop out of school. I had to stay in bed flat on my back. I mean, if I sat up like this, a doctor would have a fit. I want you flat on your back, and I laid that way for I don't know how many months. You know, then he let me raise up, and then he let me get a. I think I probably went at least 6 months without walking. I nearly had to walk again to get my strength back. You know, and so I went through that a year. Had to drop out of school, and but that when I was 13. That's when I made the decision to God that if He will heal me, I will try to serve Him the rest of my life. That was a commitment I made back in 1943.
You know, you're an amazing person. What a gift. Thank you for the time.
Oh, well,
thank you for your inspiration.
Good interview.
And boy, Bobby, thanks for making a difference.
Well, good, man.
Man.